Vice President Kashim Shettima flags off empowerment program with target of creating 2.5 million jobs. President of African Development Bank, Dr. Akinwumi Adesina, charges African leaders to embrace industrialization.
Leveraging opportunities in this global dynamics while putting Africa first.
Federal High Court judges to proceed on 2-week Easter vacation. Welcome to the News Desk at 6 on NTA News 24. We are reaching you live from Abuja. I am Vivian Ezadifi. The Labour Employment and Empowerment Program of the federal government has been officially flagged off, targeting to create 2.5 million jobs in 2 years. Vice President Kashim Shettima performed the ceremony at the State House, saying the initiative is deliberate to leverage innovations and the nation's large young population to close unemployment gap and place the country on the global map as an economic hub.
In this hall are prospective entrepreneurs. Not less than 2.5 million of them will be benefiting from the Labour Employment and Empowerment Program, an initiative of the federal government to redefine youth empowerment by providing clear pathways for skills development, job placement, and entrepreneurship growth. Vice President Kashim Shettima launches the scheme, which targets all sectors of the economy. He says Nigeria's large population and vast resources are huge advantages for businesses to flourish, which the federal government is keen on providing the right atmosphere.
LEAP provide comprehensive training that equips our people with the right skills to compete and contribute in today's global economy. And this intervention is just not about creating jobs, it is about transformation. LEAP targets all sectors of the economy, including the expanding gig economy, and leverages technology to connect employers with the skilled and ready workforce. But to succeed, we must upskill and reskill.
The success of the scheme is to be driven by digital technology, where those seeking skills training, expert instructors, and employers, as well as those needing their services around the world, will engage each other.
I am delighted to inform you that this program, when fully operational, will not only tackle youth unemployment, but will address other cross-cutting lingering issues such as security, economic growth that will advance our national priorities and attainment of the renewed hope agenda of this administration.
Development finance institutions and the private sector, whether you are in education, trade, youth, development, technology or agriculture, there is space for you under the LEAP umbrella.
Really emphasize the need to ensure that all those jobs are decent, and in the context of Nigeria, to make sure that none of those job holders will be paid below the minimum wage.
I want to say, at any stage where the input of the labor movement is required, where our assistance is required, we'll be there because it will benefit the people of Nigeria.
One of the important features of this scheme is the launch of the NIP portal to market the 2.5 million entrepreneurs so that those who need their services globally can engage them, with the federal government serving as guarantor. In Abuja, Joseph Otsen, NTA News.
With huge youth population, there is a bright future for Africa if only the continent can brace up and be free from the bondage of begging for aid from the developed countries. Speaking on advancing Africans' positioning within global development and geopolitical dynamics, former Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development and President of African Development Bank, Dr. Akinwumi Adesina, said the world is becoming Africa because by 2050, 1 out of 4 people in the world will be Africa, and with the rising prospect of digital economy, enabling environment must be created for youth to realize their full potentials.
Africa must support mineral-based industrialization, building reliable alliances, leveraging opportunities in this global dynamics while putting Africa first. Only then will Africa be great again.
We pay serious attention to the kind of leaders we need, tap our potentials, and ensure that Africa is well positioned in the global economy.
These challenges have long been identified. The solutions also have been profiled. We need a leadership that has the will to enforce these solutions, to implement these solutions.
Akinwumi Adesina has been president of African Development Bank since 28th of May 2015. Senate is taking steps to ensure ministries, departments and agencies of government improve on their compliance with regards to resolutions of the legislature for accountability and institutional integrity. A 2-day workshop is underway in Abuja as the Senate Committee on Legislative Compliance rubs minds with stakeholders on the issue. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali reports.
The consequence of non-compliance. Mostly, we have over 10,000 abandoned projects in the country, everybody knows, with trillions of naira being pumped halfway and no result. If you travel by road, you see the consequence of our roads because people are not complying with the law. If you go to the hospitals, you know the consequence of non-compliance because services are never delivered to Nigerians.
The workshop seeks to address identified gaps between legislations and executions, as non-compliance to legislations has over time led to inefficiency and failure to provide Nigerians with needed services. President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, in his opening address noted that it is abnormal in a democracy when public institutions ignore or select resolutions to implement.
While the resolution passed by the National Assembly sits dormant in the files of ministries unattended to, why is compliance not at default mode in our institutional culture? This workshop must provide answers to these.
The theme of the workshop is consolidating strategies for strengthening legislative compliance by identifying challenges, understanding the consequence, and developing solutions.
Laws are made to be implemented, but when laws are made and just kept in the drawer, it's a big challenge, and that is why we have big challenges in almost every sector of the economy. Things should be done right so that this country can move forward.
There's a department within the presidency that assesses all the ministries, and maybe we can provide them additional tools, additional resources so that they can be responsible for that measure along with the other measurements they're already taking, so as to assess the MDAs across all spheres, not just the financial targets but also the softer targets that could lead to more benefits also.
Participants were positive on expected impact.
The takeaway here will be having robust understanding on how to interpret the laws that are guiding our conduct.
I want a sanction if there's no compliance. That will make everybody to sit up and do their job rightfully.
This is the second national workshop pushing for legislative compliance by MDAs. Lami Ali, NTA News.
The National Assembly has justified its intervention and approval of the state of emergency in Rivers State, saying it is not for political vendetta but a constitutional necessity. Speaker, House of Representatives Tajuddin Abbas stated this while inaugurating a 21-member ad hoc committee of lawmakers to perform constitutional oversight on the activities of the sole administrator in Rivers State. National Assembly correspondent Mitaire Ikpen tells us more.
The National Assembly's approval of a state of emergency in Rivers State comes with a constitutional duty enshrined in Section 11, subsection 4 of the Constitution. The Federal Parliament is to make laws for the state, giving the suspension of the State Assembly along with the executive. Speaker Tajuddin Abbas says the terms of reference of the 21-member ad hoc committee revolve around upholding democratic tenets in a non-partisan manner.
It is imperative that you monitor every aspect of the caretaker administration's conduct, scrutinize public expenditures, and ensure that all federal directives and policies are implemented as intended. Moreover, it is expected that you regularly report your findings to this House in a transparent manner, enabling us to continuously assess the impact of the emergency measures and to take further legislative action if necessary.
The caretaker administration in Rivers is also requested to seek National Assembly approvals during the period.
The administrator is required to operate with the highest levels of transparency and accountability, reporting directly to the National Assembly on all matters that pertain to the peace, order, and good governance of the state as prescribed by the Constitution. The President's extraordinary actions were not taken lightly. They reflect a profound sense of duty, a responsibility, and a recognition that when democratic institutions falter, decisive action is necessary to protect the interests of the nation.
The intervention of the National Assembly in emergency rule in Rivers State serves as yet another litmus test for the legislature to play the vital role of upholding constitutional order. The Oversight Committee is chaired by House Leader Julius Ihonwere, with Minority Whip Ali Issa as deputy. From the National Assembly, Mitaire Ikpen, NTA News.
In an era of technological advancement globally, communication stakeholders are advocating improved media literacy to curb spread of fake news. Speaker, House of Representatives Tajuddin Abbas and Information Minister Mohammed Idris were among advocates who spoke at the second National Spokesperson Summit by the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations in Abuja. Ayodeji Makinde reports.
It is something that we must find a way of addressing.
These experts in the communication industry from the past to the present converged on Abuja for the second edition of National Spokesperson Summit. The mandate of this session is strengthening integrity and the evolving roles of spokespersons in leadership communication. Special guest of honor, Speaker Tajuddin Abbas, notes that in an era when information spreads faster than wildfire, certified spokespersons must be engaged in information management. On his part, Information Minister Mohammed Idris espoused this, highlighting the cadre system of public relations and civil service.
In this challenging information landscape, the role of spokespersons has evolved from being mere mouthpieces to becoming custodians of public trust. Our commitment to inclusivity, accountability, and transparency is essential to counter false narratives and build a reservoir of public trust.
It is imperative for the media to be ever more present as it equips individuals with the tools to decipher, analyze, and evaluate messages conveyed through various media channels, enabling the latitude to make informed decisions and engage with media content responsibly.
After the presidential assent to establish the first University of Public Relations, Chairman of the occasion, Olusegun Oshoba, bears his experience on roles of spokespersons, just as President, Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, Ike Neliaku, ruled out attempts to stamp out quackery.
Job of a spokesperson. Engage the people, sell your product, sell your principle in a way that you can convince the entire audience.
The spokesperson shapes public perception and ensures the timely delivery of the right messages to the appropriate audiences based on the peculiarities of his environment.
Speaker Tajuddin Abbas was conferred with the Fellowship of the Institute. As this summit charts newer pathways for mentorship and leadership, there is a renewed commitment from NIPR and strategic partners to uphold standards of public relations to drive national development. In Abuja, Ayodeji Makinde, NTA News.
This is the news desk at 6 on NTA News 24. More reports after the break. Stay with us.
Celebrate Ramadan with Bafi and enjoy up to 40% off on selected products from living room, dining room, bedroom, and royal sets. Pay less, save more, and refresh your home for iftar gatherings and cherished moments with family and friends. Visit our showrooms in Abuja, Lagos, Kano, and Enugu, or shop online to enjoy our exclusive Ramadan sale. Let's make this Ramadan unforgettable.
Welcome back. Judicial officers in the employ of the Federal High Court of Nigeria are to proceed on their 2 weeks Easter vacation from Wednesday, April 16, 2025. The Easter holiday will last till Monday, April 28, 2025, while the judges are to formally resume work on Tuesday, April 29, 2025. A circular signed by the Chief Judge of the Court, Justice John Tosho, indicates 3 critical divisions of the court shall, however, be opened to attend to emergency cases only. During the vacation period, the Abuja, Lagos, and Port Harcourt core judicial division shall remain open to public only for cases of extreme urgency. The vacation courts will attend only to matters relating to enforcement of fundamental rights, arrest or release of vessels, and matters of their national interest. The statement indicated that Justices Emeka Nwete and Musa Suleiman Liman will serve as vacation judges for Abuja Judicial Division, while Justice Akintayo Aluko and Isaac Debola will hold fourth for Lagos Division. The Port Harcourt Division is to have Justices Fobi Ayua and Adamu Mohammed as vacation judges. Significant improvement in local production has led to drastic drop in importation of petroleum products, especially premium motor spirit, PMS, otherwise known as petrol, into Nigeria. Chief Executive of the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, NMDPRA, Mr. Farouk Ahmed confirmed this at the periodic briefing organized by the presidential media team at the State House. The chief executive, who highlighted the trends in local production of petroleum products and importation, acknowledged steady improvement in sufficiency level in products for the country. He attributed the improvement to various policies, including the early decision of the current administration to remove fuel subsidy and the encouragement to backward integration initiatives in the oil and gas sector.
Displacing imports. So it's just natural. So we don't have to say stop issue license for importation. But if local refining comes up, it automatically displaces our import. And we're hoping that as we go along, we'll be seeing that green going up. And that means local capacity is displacing importation. So once Dangote Refinery continues to ramp up production, once Port Harcourt Refinery comes up, Warri Refinery up, then we can see that green going up.
Having met the national requirements in the local production of aviation fuel, Ahmed said Nigeria Nigeria is now poised to export the product.
And of course, in terms of aviation turbine Cairo, we are almost 100% satisfied locally, and we're exporting now, because Dangote refinery production has been able to cover our requirement, and our national requirement for automotive aviation turbine is about 3 million liters per day, and they're producing a lot more than that, so they're exporting.
The chief executive also pointed out that global trends, including the inconsistency in U.S. President Trump's policies and downward trajectory in the crude oil markets, are impacting national revenue. Jigawa State Governor Umar Namadi has launched the construction of a 29-kilometer road linking Dolenkwana, Garungabas and Hadeja. Mohammed Musa Askira reports that the 7.8 billion naira project targets to enhance regional connectivity and economic growth in the area.
Road project to be executed with an asphaltic concrete overlay is designed to improve connectivity and enhance the economic livelihoods of farming communities in the region. Governor Namadi explained that the road will enable farmers to transport their produce more efficiently from farmlands to markets and homes, ultimately driving development across benefiting communities. This project is just one of the 47 road construction planned across Jigawa State, totaling 800 kilometers and awarded at a cumulative cost of over 300 billion naira under the current fiscal year. The team later proceeded to Benua for a government citizens engagement forum. There, Governor Namadi and members of his cabinet interacted directly with the people, assessing government performance and gathering first-hand feedback on the needs and priorities of the local communities. Governor Namadi, while addressing the gathering, noted that citizens across the state have testified to the visible improvements under the current administration. He assured Nigerians that with the present leadership of the All Progressives Congress at both federal and the state levels, the country is on the right path and that the people will not regret the choice of leadership.
Based on our campaign promises, where we have told the people that we will still come back to them to ask them whether what we have promised them we are delivering, and whether there is any other things we are not doing, so that they can remind us so that we can continue. The essence of this that's exactly the essence of this program. And also to get in touch with the people, come closer to them, so that we can be able to interact and share ideas and see how we can move Jigawa State forward.
Governor Namadi emphasized that these town hall-style engagements will continue across remaining local government areas, ensuring that government remains people-centered and development-driven. From Dutse, Muhammad Musa Askira, NTA News.
In a powerful display of unity and devotion, hundreds of Catholic priests in the Federal Capital Territory gathered with their bishops to renew their ordination vows during the Chrism Mass. This significant event underscored the importance of this milestone in the Catholic liturgical year, highlighting the priests' commitment to their ministry and service to their communities. Sandra Akime was at Our Lady Queen of Nigeria Pro Cathedral, reports on the meaningful celebration.
Chrism Mass, a significant event in the Catholic Church, celebrated by bishops and priests, providing an opportunity for them to reflect on their roles and seek guidance and strength for their ministry.
And lead all of us, shepherds and flock, to eternal life.
The Holy Mass provided opportunity for the bishop to consecrate the holy oils used in sacraments during the year as part of activities of the Holy Week.
In Chrism, you have anointed for yourself priests and kings, prophets and martyrs. Make this Chrism sign of life and salvation for those who are to be born again in the waters of baptism.
Archbishop of Abuja Diocese Ignatius Kegama says the event promotes unity and collaboration between clergy and the community, emphasizing their shared commitment to serving God, and also serves as an opportunity for spiritual growth and renewal for all involved.
Our work is to help, and that is why we feel government should cooperate with us, because we are always talking about peace and unity, harmony, and living together in great harmony. So we should be supported. We are ready to do our best, I have told my priests again and again we should be selfless in service.
Today I have come to renew my vows which I made when I was ordained a priest. So it's a thing of happiness, inviting the grace of God to be with me along this journey and to strengthen me.
By his ordination, he's given the grace, he's given the anointing, he's given the strength, he's given the capacity to take care of the faithful, spiritually and otherwise.
For us, the Chrism Mass is the peak of the Lenten season and one of the high points of the Holy Week.
Representative of the Catholic Pope, His Excellency Most Reverend Michael Francis Crotty, Apostolic Nuncio to Nigeria, urged the community to always pray for their priests as they cannot do God's work on their own.
As I said earlier as well, as priests should rejoice and give thanks for the great gifts they have received. I ask also the lay faithful to pray for their priests and pray for their bishops, that they may always faithful to the promises and the vows that they made on their ordination day.
In Abuja, Sandra Akemi, NTA News.
And that concludes the news desk at 6 on NTA News 24. Thanks for watching. I am Vivian Ezadifu.